this plant is all from one seed, so it's a big plant.
Wow.
So, how should I start? So we planted the actual plant on April 1st, and then the pumpkin actually got pollinated and started, and it was about that big, on June 1st. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Were there any other fruit?
Yes.
You had to cull those off?
So as it grew, we had 3 other fruits. We let some get to volleyball size, and then our last one got to about 60 pounds. So we cut the 2 that were volleyball size, and then the 60-pound one we cut off.
And how big do you think this is?
I will get to that
Okay.
later. Good question.
That's the
Very
question
good
everybody wants to know.
You should have said, hold your questions until the end.
Hold your questions until the end.
There you go.
Okay. So, where was I at?
So you cut off the 2 volleyballs.
So we cut off the other pumpkins. So all the nutrients went to this one. So oh my gosh, I'm losing my track. So the ground prep that we did. So what we did is we were limited to only organic fertilizers because Plowshares is only organic. The people that are really intense about it can just put 50 pounds of nitrogen in and just be like, okay, here you go, pumpkin, grow to 1,000 pounds. But we can't do that. We have to do a lot of fertilizer because it's organic. So first you dig ground prep. And then as you can see, there are black buckets all along here, if you had noticed. And what we did with those is we stuffed them with fish emulsion and oatmeal, and they're dried. So we would water in them. And then as the water would seep in, this would turn to kind of a thick mud, and little granules would seep out. So fertilize it every time we water it. And that would give it a lot of nutrients. So if you're wondering why we have buckets all on here, is because we buried the vines so they would root in. And then so it's like a whole nother plant that's gathering even more nutrients, all to go to that one pumpkin. So first we just buried it on top, but it's gone away. But as you can see, it won't lift up because it's rooted in. So that gathers a lot of nutrients toward the pumpkin. And so as well as the ground prep, we also mulched the ground right here so that it could stay warm when it was first a little sprout. Because if it didn't have that, it might have frozen.
After it's sprouted, then we mulched to keep the roots warm and hold water.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
So you said people use nitrogen, which is not organic. But what does nitrogen do? Is that the same as a fish emulsion? Or is that something different?
It's the same principle, it gives a lot of nutrients.
It's the same compound that the plant wants. It's just this chemical fertilizer. So
Right.
One more thing.
the dirt will only absorb so much, pull so much. The fish and the kelp will only decompose at a certain rate.
I see.
No matter how much you put in,
Right.
it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
So, why, if any of you were wondering why it's so pale, not just the classic orange color, is because you see that black cloth over there? We covered it with it. So, because what would happen is that sun, it would harden the rind, and then at its prime, when it was growing 4 inches a day in circumference,
Wow.
if it was hard, and then it was growing that fast, it would just split.
Oh, yeah.
And if it splits, it would stop growing, which is called abortion. Like it would just abort. And then since it was split, it would be like exposed to the air, and then it would mold and rot and then decompose. We didn't want that to happen.
So we still keep it covered.
We still keep it covered, but it's just uncovered for this.
Right.
So
As
when
you get to the measurements in the weight.
yeah. So how we know how much it is because there's a chart that comes out every year, three different measurements. One measurement is from the stem, right here, to the blossom. And the other one is down to the ground. And the other one is the circumference, which is all the way all of the measuring and doing all the weight stuff, but it's approximately 487 pounds, give or take 10%.
Okay.
So it might be more, it might be less. But
Wow. So
now,
then,
any questions now?
yes.
Is that a special variety of pumpkin? Is this
Oh, good question. So, my cousin Jake in Utah, he grows giant pumpkins and he's been doing